Thank you very much. Let me recognize the following. We have a partnership with the Director General of NIMASA, Dr. Dakuku Peter Said, who is an alumnus of the University of Port Harcourt. He is not personally here, but he sent, who is the acting coordinator of the Eastern Zone of NIMASA. Are you here, sir, representing Dakuku Peter Said? Oh, you're welcome, sir. He's doing something for us. When you get back, don't tell him we kept you inside there. Eh? Tell him he sat in front. Thank you. That's how the place is. Thank you very much. The reason I wanted the HOD to speak is because I wanted the ambassador to listen to the HOD before he makes his opening remarks. Let me most respectfully now invite our father, Ambassador, Professor George Obiozo, a citizen of the world, to address, to make his opening remarks as chairman. Ambassador, sir, the microphone is there, sir. You are at liberty, sir. You are at liberty. And you can even sit down and address us. Doesn't matter. Please, can someone switch on the microphone for him? Raphael, can you switch on the microphone for him? Bring it. Okay. Raphael, come and take this one.
Except that I must recognize power. And as an ambassador and a political scientist of a realistic school, power has privilege. And in the study of politics and international relations, it is the only feature and element that can promise you hell and deliver on time. Power. You don't mess with power. So I must actually recognize the Vice Chancellor of the University of Port Harcourt, a very young and dynamic Vice Chancellor. I am very impressed. Vice Chancellor, thank you for hosting us. And then, of course, the Deputy Governor of Abia State. In fact, Abia State is in God's hand. And the wonderful people on the high table. In fact, well, when Mbadiwe was alive, he said, people combine the combinables. I'm an academician by training, a diplomat by appointment, a citizen of Nigeria, and in fact, a student of international relations. And then you are a humble ambassador to Israel, Cyprus, and United States of America. So, I want to say that the man we have come here to honor is like a younger brother to me. I watch him grow. And I'm very proud of him. It was John F. Kennedy that said, success has 100 fathers, failure is an orphan. Well, my opening remark is very simple. Believe me, whoever wants to know more about him can use one-liner. Here is a young man that fulfilled the one-liner profundis ad lucem. From darkness to what? Light. In fact, that summarizes the life of this young man. And we thank God for him. He has used his blessings for the benefit of mankind and to the glory of God. Indeed, my message shall what? It doesn't, you don't need introduction when you see him. It shines. Isn't that true? And then I want to say that I must thank the University of Port Harcourt. In fact, this young university came up kicking and moving towards incredible excellence. In academia, I want to say that may God continue to bless University of Port Harcourt, because they see good things in good people. There are those in this world who everybody's success makes them angry. You know that. You must have had it. Quite often, even if the people you consider as friends, they will telling you, we support you, may God help you. The day God helps you, they ask God, we didn't mean it. So, for a young man to build a church, a missionary movement that started in a corner shop, a bacha, 50 people, to 3 million and above today worldwide. Can't we clap for him? May I therefore conclude with this statement by telling all the reverends here to join me in completing this sentence in the Bible. Since I'm, as a matter of fact, I'm not even qualified in terms of the kind of group here to speak about the Bible. But there is a section of it that I like very much, and it actually affects today's ceremony. Seest you thou? Do it. Seest you thou a man? Are you following? Who sits with you of kings and not God? And I will say that, please, Apostle Shibuzo, please, may God continue to bless you. And may God continue to use you to bless those that you have been helping throughout. As I said, the young man developed passion and vision to help. May God continue to help you. I have finished.
Vintage Ambassador Professor George Obiazo, a citizen of the world. Really the father of international relations. We are very lucky to have you, sir. So when people pray for me now, I will ask God, did they really mean it? Let me recognize the president of OPM Divine Distributors, High Chief Dr. Ote. Are you here, sir? You're welcome. And another Divine Distributor. Where is the High Chief? You're welcome, sir. Another High Chief Honorable Dele Odoyi JP. Are you here? Divine Distributor. Thank you. I wish to announce to the GO that the Auxiliary Bishop of the Catholic Diocese of Port Harcourt, you know, the Catholics don't mix water with oil. But the Auxiliary Bishop has been here for 2 hours and is the first indigenous bishop to be appointed by the Catholic Church in Port Harcourt. Bishop is His Lordship, Bishop Patrick Eluke. So I know there are Catholics here. Bishop Patrick Eluke is of the Department of Religious and Cultural Studies of the University of Port Harcourt. Now, he was here for 2 hours, but as a bishop of the Catholic Church, he has to take his leave. It's important that we announce that that bishop was here. That tells you that the GO cuts across all denominations. Also with us here is the Most Reverend Dr. D.B. Kaladokobo, Chairman, Christian Council of Nigeria, Rivers Chaplain. Are you here, sir? You're welcome, sir. All right. the Dean of the Faculty of Humanities, his head of department has spoken. He could remove him in the morning if he didn't get a chance to say something. So let me invite the Dean to give us Professor Femi Shaka, please, just a minute and we'll be done.
My Vice Chancellor, sir, yes, the GO and the chairman. When the grace of God is upon your life, a lot of things happen easily. And I want to say this in respect of my Vice Chancellor that gave us the permission to host this conference. This university is more than 40 years old. The Department of Religious and Cultural Studies is also more than 40 years old. But it is only within the visitship of Professor Ndowa A.S. Lale that these things are happening. It's not by accident. You have to have a spiritual eye to know. It's not by accident. I just want to put it on record. We are moving into the serious aspect of this conference. What we have been doing is the ceremonial aspect. I want to speak a little bit on the academic aspect, which is the most serious aspect of this. Like I said, when the GO and his team paid a courtesy visit to the Vice Chancellor, I said the Faculty of Humanities wouldn't want to admit a situation where our colleagues from Europe and North America come over here and begin to detect the history of men of God, of the statue of Apostle Dr. Chibuzo Chiere, what is doing here for us in Port Harcourt and the rest of Nigeria. We don't want somebody coming from Europe and North America to tell us about the history of this man. So what we are doing here, after this ceremonial aspect, there is the serious academic aspect, where we will study the history of the ministry and study all the achievements of what he has done so far and what God is going to use him to do. That's why we are here. I don't want to delay because my VC is going to speak. I want to welcome all of you. May the grace of God follow us in all that we do throughout the course of this day. Thank you very much.
Vintage Professor Femi Shaka, Dean, Faculty of Humanities. It's very correct. My own father was the first pastor, somebody to be given a collar in the entire Apara Kingdom those days. When he passed in 1985, it took another 10 years. A white man came to our house and he wanted to look at the early missionaries in the Niger Delta. The white man, he wrote the history. What he wrote was upside down. So Femi Shaka is correct. And that when they published it, they made the profit in Europe. They didn't acknowledge us at all. The next to speak to us is the Vice Chancellor of the University of Port Harcourt. But before he does that, I don't know what AY is looking for. AY, wait now. AY was supposed to be somewhere in Warri. And I don't know how he found his way to Port Harcourt. And I checked, he doesn't have wings. Very distinguished ladies and gentlemen, we have with us the most chartered comedian. AY! Wait. You see, you see, I'm holding him by the collar. He said you didn't pay gate fee to enter here. He's not going to perform. Anyway, please greet your people.
Now this place is making me feel like a pastor. You don't give us a box like this. When you box us like this, we just might be tempted to believe that we have been called. And if I have your permission, let me just assume that I've been called, even if it's for 5 minutes. So can I prophesy to our GO now? Can I? I should do that? Yes. Okay. Man of God, when our daddy started, he was calling you this young man. Fear come they catch me, wait till daddy go call me. This child. Daddy, they say I can prophesy to you. Are you ready for this? Are you ready for this? Let me hear you say, You see my own be that. Oh. That is you. Admiration took you across illusion, and the good Lord became your portion. When you made your decision, you were given an admission. After your matriculation, there was an examination. Today, you are being blessed with a graduation that is leading to your convocation. Are you still here? So now forget all actions coming through reaction, giving you tension and temptation. Just be in progression, just in proportion to your promotion. Flee every evil communication and continue to be a ministrant in this ministration. With this collaboration, you get a distinction, not in subtraction, but in addition. So, congregation, this is a session to be on motion with a mission to function. Please put your hands together for Daddy one more time.
I protest. AY did not prophesy to my vice chancellor. AY, come and prophesy to my vice chancellor. Quickly, back to the microphone.
First of all, I need to confirm if people are paying school fees. Are people still paying school fees? Chancellor, you will be the one that will prophesy into my pocket.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you, please. Let me recognize our own bishop, the bishop of the Ogoni Missionary Diocese in the Anglican Communion. You know, I'm an Anglican. Whenever I introduce Anglican bishops, I make sure I emphasize every word of it. The Right Reverend Dr. Solomon Barabwe, Bishop of Ogoni Missionary. Beregbara, please. Right Reverend Beregbara, where is the bishop, please? Bishop, please, come. Bishop, please come and sit here. Can you get a seat for the bishop, please? You are comfortable there, sir? Okay, please, when you get back, tell them we kept you right here in front. I am told that he's also our product in that department. My vision is to be the pastor that won the highest. Honorable Paul Taribo, Minority Leader, Abia State.
Is a man
House of Assembly. Are you here, sir?
About the people.
Thank you.
And is
you're welcome, sir. Please, kindly bear with us. If you don't feel very comfortable, build a bigger auditorium for us as a politician. Please, we will put your name there immediately. All right. Very distinguished ladies and gentlemen, in the absence of a prophecy from my Vice Chancellor by AY, I wish to invite the 8th Vice Chancellor of the University of Port Harcourt, Professor Ndowa E.S. Lale, to address the gathering. Come, RCO students, clap for your Vice Chancellor now.
Thank you very much. Please, thanks for the honor. You can please resume your seats. Well, I'm sure that when AY came in, they told him that the young-looking old man that was sitting there is the Vice Chancellor. So he came to greet me. But I've never seen AY on TV with beard. So I couldn't recognize him. But now I understand why he's wearing the beard. I didn't know he had been called. As for what he requested, that I should prophesy into his pocket, as soon as I finish this meeting, I will have a meeting with the principal officers. And if during that meeting I get the anointing, I will communicate with him. His Excellency, the Executive Governor of Abia State, ably presented by the Deputy Governor, His Excellency Right Honorable Uche Okochukwu, Ambassador Professor George Obiozo, former ambassador to a number of countries, as he mentioned, United States, Israel, Cyprus, and a citizen of the world. The General Overseer of Omega Power Ministry, I'm very, very sure about that, my own younger brother, Apostle Dr. Chibuzo Gift Chinyere, rather, the keynote speaker for today, the Chief Medical Director of our own University of Port Harcourt Teaching Hospital, a very dear friend of mine, Professor Henry Oboma, the former Managing Director of PPMC, a friend by some means, Dr. Reginald Stanley, the former ambassador to the Republic of South Africa, Ambassador K. Umuche, MFR, the Dean, Faculty of Humanities, Professor Femi Shaka, deans of other faculties here present, heads of department, directors of institutes and centers, distinguished professors of the University of Port Harcourt and those from outside of this university, my lords, spiritual and temporal, your royal highnesses here present. I'm also told that the Ndoki community, is it Ndoki or is here well represented? So I greet you, very distinguished men and women from Ndoki area. Very distinguished ladies and gentlemen, gentlemen of the press, our very dear students who are here gathered. I know that most of them must be of OPM by calling. Ladies and gentlemen, it is with great pleasure that I welcome all the participants to the Maiden Pastorate Conference organized by the Department of Religious and Cultural Studies in the Faculty of Humanities of our university. I'm most delighted to welcome a great man of God who has impacted greatly on his congregation and the rest of society in the person of Apostle Dr. Chibuzo Gift Chinyere, the General Overseer of one of the largest and fastest growing Pentecostal ministries in Nigeria today, the Omega Power Ministry, popularly known as OPM. Before our very eyes, Apostle Chinyere has deftly combined the gospel of Jesus Christ with a commendable welfare initiative that has impacted positively on virtually all segments of society. He has followed in the footsteps of Jesus, who the Bible recorded as doing great deeds wherever he went. It is on record that Apostle Chinyere's ministry has touched lives everywhere, and those who worship in his church are very happy with him, mainly on account of his limitless philanthropy and fellow feeling. Let me at this stage heartily welcome the keynote speaker, our own Professor Henry A. Oboma, who is the Chief Medical Director of the University of Port Harcourt Teaching Hospital, for accepting to share his wealth of experience with us at this important conference. The organizers could not have given this important role to a better speaker than a very staunch member of OPM and an outstanding academic in our university in the person of Professor Oboma. I am pleased to observe that the Department of Religious and Cultural Studies is making a paradigm shift from rudimentary research activities to cultivating a symbiotic relationship between town and gown, which is one of the core mandates of our university. Let me at this stage just mention the fact that the HOD, Dr. Ngozi Henacho, other senior academics in the department, and indeed their dean, are doing something quite innovative. For several years, we had a department. And you know, it takes one person to change the history of a thing. You know, today, virtually every family is doing what Nigerians call pure water. For a long time, somebody didn't think about it, but it took one person to think about it. And once it was done, everybody opened pure water factory. I'm sure that this is not the only university in the country that houses the Department of Religious and Cultural Studies. And even within the university, people just get down, people just become downcast. Oh, you didn't do medicine. You didn't do law. You didn't do accounting. You didn't do X, Y, Z. And therefore, that's why people are just... But you see, it takes some good thinking to get us to where we are. Who would have thought that this impact we are making today will have come from the Department of Religious and Cultural Studies? So I congratulate the dean, the HOD, and the academics in that department. I can assure you, the best is yet to come. The university management will continue to make deliberate efforts to support the department in its academic engagement, especially as it seeks to reach out to equip the churches and ministers who preach the gospel with academic content. Let me at this point stress the fact that we allow this pastoral conference to hold in this university because of its stated academic content. I wish to make it clear that this is strictly an academic gathering and not a Pentecostal crusade aimed at winning souls. The activity of winning souls happens in your various churches every day, and the result has been bountiful, for which we commend your efforts. It is therefore expected that participants will dutifully observe the rules and regulations governing academic discourse and refrain from using our campus to propagate their religious beliefs. And I want to say this without apology to the GO. I'm sure he understands so very much. I had to remind some very overzealous, one member of his protocol, or is it security team, who almost got me down on the floor because he was trying to protest his GO. And I thought that in this university, the person to be protected most is myself. And so I called him to order that here, things are not done that way. Actually, he heard me well. And so that's why I'm not apologizing. But it's important that we put this in great perspective. The theme of this conference, Pentecostalism and African Pastoral Profile, is rightly targeted at practicing preachers and those interested in the growth of the gospel of Jesus Christ through the pathway of Pentecostal religion. I'm happy to observe that a tireless laborer in the vineyard of the Lord and a great champion of good causes, Apostle Chibuzo Gibchia, will be celebrated and honored today on account of his numerous philanthropic activities. He may not know it, but Apostle Chibuzo Gibchia is a crusader of social gospel and an exponent of neo-Pentecostalism. His humanitarian and corporate social responsibility ministry have combined to positively impact on so many, especially those at the very bottom of the social hierarchy. Repentant militants, commercial sex workers, and self-confessed social deviants have benefited immensely from Apostle Chibuzo Gibchira's ministry of mercy and salvation. As a university, we commend him for truly taking the gospel to the poor and not amassing wealth for himself. On 15th May 2019, the management of the university received Apostle Chibuzo Gibchia as a guest preacher during a program organized by the Students' Union Executive of this university. I am pleased to announce that without solicitation from the management of the university, Apostle Chibuzo Gibchia characteristically pledged to build a hostel block for our students. The university management has commenced the process of translating this promise into reality by completing the due process for the project to commence without further delay. It is our hope that these projects will help to address the serious accommodation problem facing our students when the hostel project is finally completed and put to you. Let me put it on record that as I've just read, we did not ask him to do any such thing for us. And he can testify, but out of his own volition, he has promised us that. From all that I know about him and from all that I know about God, as God asks, is there anything too difficult for me to do? The answer is no. And when you ask God for something and makes a promise, he does not fail in that. Chibuzo preaches that, and having on his own promised us this. It's like the promise from God. And those of us in the university are holding on to that promise and claiming that it will come to pass. Let me also put it on record that that promise of a hostel for the university as a whole is totally different from the request made by the HOD. In other words, it is either this or that. That's not the point. The point is that the request made by the HOD, I'm sure he heard him well. He will deal with that in a different platform, but the one he promised the principal officers where I was chairing is the one I've talked about. I wish to encourage the Department of Religious and Cultural Studies to strengthen and sustain the existing partnership with the Omega Power Ministry on mutually beneficial basis. I've also been informed that the Department of Religious and Cultural Studies has entered into a partnership with the University of Business, the University of Port Harcourt Business School, to run a postgraduate program that will further equip pastors and church workers to balance their academic knowledge, spirituality, and business principles in their practice. I urge those of you in Pentecostal ministry to effectively utilize this rare opportunity to train your preachers and church workers on the theory and practice of spreading the gospel and enriching your various congregations. And this is what will empower the preachers and pastors to follow the Pauline example. You know, Paul was a big minister and a great evangelist. But one of the things that he said is that Paul, despite all of that, and if you read through the Bible, he achieved an awful lot. He did not depend. He said he was entitled, but he did not depend on the collections from the church to survive. Instead, Paul raised his own money and even sorted out the poor amongst them. This program in the business school will achieve that for us. Very distinguished ladies and gentlemen, let me welcome you once again to our university and hope that this important pastoral conference will bring town and gown together for the advancement of knowledge in modern preaching techniques amongst Pentecostal ministers in this part of the world. As I try to end, let me recognize the fact that I've done slightly over 4 years of my 5-year tenure. During this time, we've hosted all kinds of conferences here. Let me confess that we have never seen the array of people in this hall like we have today. And for that reason, let me begin to congratulate the Department of Religious and Cultural Studies that you're already achieving your purpose of bringing together town and gown. It is now my pleasure to declare open the Maiden Pastoral Conference in honor of the General Overseer of Omega Power Ministry, Apostle Chibuzo Gift Chinyere, to the glory of God and for the preparation of Pentecostal preachers of the gospel of Jesus Christ on earth. I wish you very fruitful deliberations. God bless you all.
All right, please kindly resume your seats. The Vice Chancellor, the Vice Chancellor will rejoin us. Please kindly take your seats. Thank you very much. The Vice Chancellor will rejoin us at an opportune moment. AY, you didn't prophesy to my visit. Now you want to steal a photograph. You see your life? AY, you see your life? I told you to prophesy to the man. You said you prophesy to your pocket. Now you are prophesying to the picture. All right, let me recognize Chief Sir Kelvin Ugu. I hear he is the chairman of OPM TV Partners Worldwide. You're welcome, sir. I've just been told by Dr. Lawrence Chiku to announce, if I want to continue with this microphone, that they are here, 3 of them representing the Nimasa DG. You know, the Nimasa DG is putting up a massive building for us, for our Center for Logistics and Transport and Logistics. So if I don't, he may ask him to withdraw his money. So they have a powerful 3-man delegation representing Dr. Dakuku Adol Peterside. Is Dr. Lawrence Chuku of the Department of Biochemistry, University of Port Harcourt. Are you here? As well. The next gentleman, Barrister Biene Cotton Amakri. Are you here, sir? The other one is Mr. Wamil Yusuf, Acting Coordinator, Eastern Zone, Nemasa. Where's the gentleman? All right. You see, the 3 of them look exceptionally prosperous. And so, Dr. Acho, take note in your enterprising religious ministry. All right. Having said that, are they ready with the clip now? Please tell me if I spent, and so the clip should just take a couple of minutes and we'll be done. The clip, are you ready with it? Who is in charge of the clip, please? Can we put it up, please? Otherwise, I'll go on to the next item. Are we ready? So, let it be uploaded immediately, please. Well, okay, they are ready. All right, very distinguished ladies and gentlemen, we want to play you a clip of the journey so far by the GEO. It's come a long way. You know, Mother Teresa was called the saint of the gutter. Here is it, a saint of the gutter. It goes about where people don't want to go. The other pastors are riding in air-conditioned cars and aircrafts, designers. This is where Apostle Chibuzo goes, where big pastors don't want to go. So you watch. All right, don't we have voice? Is anybody running the commentary, please? Or we can use the microphone here. That's where he goes. He doesn't care about security. He has no CIA guiding him. You want a microphone? Eh? No, you can use it. You can, okay, bring that one. That was how Jesus was preaching, actually, in the gutter, in the dustbin. All these big pastors, they preach only at Victoria Island and the Maitama district of Abuja. These are Apostle Chibuzo's friends. People in the gutter, yes. This is where he feels very comfortable, at home. I had known that from the beginning when I identified with him. Yes. Now, these prayer warriors, don't try them. If you try them, you die by fire. Until the voice comes, kindly just take my commentary. They are working very hard to activate his voice so you can hear from him directly. But before they do that, in the old altar, I don't know if the new altar is still like that now. You moved up to the old altar, it was all sandy everywhere. And he felt very comfortable there. The good thing about it is that you celebrate the miracle, he doesn't celebrate the miracle to promote himself. You, the beneficiary of his miracle, will celebrate yourself in OPM. As well as financial. Those waving hands are a very big threat to Satan and to enemies within.
My vision.
Okay.
The pastor that won the highest soul to heaven.
Omega Power Ministries, OPM worldwide. In a land where pain was the order of the day, broken and battered bodies moved around the place, merely a shadow of themselves. Poverty, hunger, sickness, and pain was not foreign to many. Souls drowned in the sorrow that tore them. Then a man was called. He was called once or twice. He answered. A man who, was bestowed with the grace to render spiritual help as well as financial and physical assistance to as many as possible. Apostle Chibos Ogifchinyere.
My vision is to be the pastor that
Omega Power Ministries OPM worldwide. In a land where pain was the order of the day, broken and battered bodies moved around the place merely a shadow of themselves. Poverty, hunger, sickness, and pain was not foreign to many. Souls drowned in the sorrow that tore them. Then a man was called. He was called once, but twice he answered. A man who was bestowed with the grace to render spiritual help as well as financial and physical assistance to as many as possible. Apostle Chibos Ogifchinyere.
my vision is to be the pastor that won the highest soul to heaven.
Is a man who is very particular about the people and is very in touch with them.
I'm a pastor for the poor. I'm not a pastor who say, I go there for a condition, they preach only big men. No. That is why you see me, I help widows. I build up for widows, I help the poor. That is my calling.
Yes, sir.
My calling not to take offering. Hey, you go open school. Put school fees 500,000. Only for rich men. No. My own is for the poor.
The fact that he had gone through very many facets of life, which includes hardship, makes it easier for him to relate with the people who are from less privileged homes.
God loves all sinners, but God hates the sin in them. Let me tell you, it doesn't matter the sin you don't commit before. There is no sin too big. It doesn't matter how many blood you don't waste. There is nothing God cannot do. I be old hand here. If God can carry me upon all the blood I don't waste, upon everything I don't do, God still carry me. Nothing God cannot do.
Apart from being able to relate with the poor people because he had gone through difficult situations, he is a man that was born with a heart of gold. His kind heart is probably also the reason God vested on him with so much power. Even while he really didn't have much, he was also in the business of actively looking out for others.
It's once in a million. And I pray this day that other pastors also emulate what he is doing. When they do that, it will go a long way in curbing off some evil that people are doing in this society.
He knows how it feels to be out of school.
I see no reason why a pastor will go and build a school and put the school fees so expensive. And the people that contributed to the building of that school, their children cannot go to that school. It's a pure wickedness.
Hunger is something he had once experienced, and he had encountered homelessness. His anchor scripture is Matthew 25, verse 34 to 40. His concern is not only to drag souls to heaven, he is also particular about doing everything in the Bible because heaven is his number one goal. Due to his past experience and because of his love for children, it broke Apostle Chibuzo's heart every time he saw children hawking wares and roaming about because their parents and wards couldn't afford the luxury of giving them basic education. That is why he introduced free education.
A pastor will collect the offerings from the church. Then you build a school, high standard like this. Then you start collecting school fees. There are members in that church that cannot be able to pay that school fees. But it is their offering. You use it building that school. It's so much wickedness. And that is why, by the grace of God, OPM started a school which is absolutely free. High standards classroom, well-equipped laboratory, free books, all the children, free books. The uniform they wear, 4 different uniforms free, sandals free, school bags free. They will arrange for them to go to Paris for free excursion. God is happy. Now, there was a time I received a call from one of the people. Oh, I've not eaten since morning. I said, why? He said, my parents, there's no food for us. It's okay. From now, I installed the welfare. All the pupils that come to the free school, once Once there is bell, break, all the pupils will eat free food, free of charge, free lunch.
The church operates free schools where children from the less privileged homes, orphans and children of widows, irrespective of religion, tribe or cultural background, are given quality education for free. As of July 2019, the church operates 12 of such schools spread across Abia, Rivers, Bayelsa and Akwa Ibom. The OPM free schools are totally free.
Church is not the building. Church is the people inside the building. It is time for pastors to focus more on the people inside the building than the building itself. Focus on the people inside the building.
In 2015, Apostle Chibuzo Chinyere sponsored pupils from OPM Free School to Paris, France on an all-expense-paid excursion trip. Everything for quality learning is free at these schools, like free 4 sets of uniforms, free shoes and sandals, free lunch, free books, etc., etc. During his 45th birthday in October 2018, he launched Operation 45,000 Children Must Be Taken Out of the Streets and Taken to School. Right now, the foundation for the first free all-girls technical college has been laid in a 60 plots of land. The girls won't only be taught basic subjects but would also go through trainings in technical fields such as welding, scaffolding, etc., so that there would be a rise in women in such fields.
We have all male technical college. In Nigeria, we have mixed technical college, but in Nigeria, we have all female technical college. And the girl child has been denied technical knowledge for a long time. The girl child needs to be empowered. The girl child needs to assist the husband. The girl child must be independent. We have more male engineers than female engineers. It is time for us to have at least male engineers and female engineers. Yeah? Because we're going to do electrical engineering, mechanical engineering, scaffolding, pipeline welding, civil engineering. Even we have tailoring in it.
Apostle Chibuzo sponsored the secondary and tertiary education of very many students, including Muslims.
My name is Maria. My husband is late. I'm happy so much, and I pray that they should continue to do to people like us that don't have help.
Just recently, he rescued an 11-year-old mechanic and sent him to school. Just like many others, he promised to sponsor his education to the tertiary level.
Even though when I want to travel to Abakaliki, I even taken to tell him mother that I will take him to Abakaliki so we work together. He's working, leave this for you.
God bless you.
Amen.
But today we want to inform you that the OPM Free School has given him admission.
Hey, praise the Lord.
Yes, how are you? Okay, this is the boy that was learning mechanic. I'm telling you, come, what and what do you know in mechanic?
I can change shock, I can change...
You can change?
Shock, and camber, and leakage, and shaft, and many things in cars.
And now we didn't discriminate because the mother doesn't come to open. The father drove the mother away. We didn't say, oh, your parents are not members of OPM, you cannot come to OPM Free School. No. We enrolled. These are the kind of people this program is meant for.
OPM Free Specialist Hospital. The kind-hearted man of God shook the media and blew the minds of many people by launching the first free world-class hospital targeted at pregnant women so that the alarming rate of maternal mortality can be reduced.
I have a vision. My vision is not to build the most beautiful church in the world. My vision is to take as much people from hellfire to heaven. That's number one. Number two, to use the resources of God help the poor, to eradicate. Because a lot of people that went into crime, went to prostitution, it is because of finances. So use the resource of God and put them out. So today, this is one of the things, adding to the free school, free restaurant, free skill acquisition centers, free estate, and now free hospital. Today, I dedicate this altar in the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit.
Just as the free school is free, the specialist hospital is also open to every less privileged pregnant woman. OPM Foundation Free Skill Acquisition Training Center FOSATC is a center that targets to empower humanity by providing opportunity of free skills learning, especially in a society where white-collar jobs have remained a mirage, thereby reducing the vices that an unemployed youth population can cause in the society. The FOSATC has been accredited by the Federal Ministry of Labor and Productivity, and most of their products are now either gainfully employed or self-employed. It is situated at number 62 Circular Road, Elekaya Housing Estate, Port Harcourt. The following courses with the duration of training are currently available at FOSATC. Oil Rig and Operations 4 months, Oil Well Drilling Completion and Productions Technology 1 year, Furniture Making 6 months, Marine Engineering 1 year 3 months, Health, Safety and Environment HSE 1, 2 and 3 4 months, Computer Softwares and Engineering 4 months, Pipeline Welding 1 year, Electrical/Mechanical Engineering 1 year, Tailoring 1 year with a free sewing machine for graduates, Driving 4 months, Paint Manufacturing 4 months, Scaffolding 4 months. The church also runs a free skill acquisition program like cake making, hat, bag and shoe making, how to make toiletries, etc. As of 2019, the free skill acquisition scheme is being run in universities of Port Harcourt and River State University. For Apostle Chibuzo and OPM, all the above skills are fully funded from the church tithes and offering, and the beneficiaries bear no financial costs. OPM Free Restaurant. Members of the public walk in and eat for free, irrespective of religion, tribe and culture. The church recently renamed it the Leah Sharibu Free Restaurant in honor of Leah Sharibu, the prisoner of faith who has been under the captivity of Boko Haram in the northern Nigeria for refusing to give up on her Christian faith. The OPM Free Restaurant is located opposite SAS, Umaholo. Every Sunday after service, the welfare department distributes foodstuff as well as transport for people struggling financially. OPM Free Estates. Due to the high rate of homeless people and because house rent has displaced many, free estates were built and bought across different areas in Port Harcourt, namely Alu, Rumigbo, Rumukrushi. The free homes provide free housing to the homeless. Apostle Chibuzo settles the house rent of widows and fills up their shops. He is actively involved in building houses for widows. OPM Free Farm. The church earmarked 100 plots of land within Alu Lukboku axis and allotted them for free to indigent members of the public for farming, while also providing money for them to buy seedlings. Rehabilitation of repentant cultists, armed robbers, kidnappers, prostitutes, etc. The church has stood out in this area, thereby reducing crime rate in the society by providing means of livelihood to them, and through prayers they have renounced their old habits and reintegrated into the society. Alms are periodically recovered from them, after which they are taken through rehabilitation. They are moved into the free homes where feeding is provided for them. The word of God is frequently instilled in their hearts, after which they are baptized. They are also conveyed to and from the free skill acquisition centers. Many of them have been able to secure jobs both locally and internationally with the certificates from the Free Skill Acquisition Center. The Dube invasion in 2016, where prostitutes were dragged out from brothels, was a hit, and most of them now married. Also in 2019, prostitutes around the environs of Casablanca were preached to, and just like the rescued prostitutes from Cool Breeze in Dube, they were taken to Apostle Chibuzo's home, where a buffet was already prepared in wait for them. They ate and heard the word of God and were given an opportunity to have a new life. After denouncing their old ways, they were moved into a new estate and were given new clothes. They were empowered with skills and businesses were opened for them. Right now, they are happy women earning a living genuinely and serving God wholeheartedly. Just recently, Apostle Chibuzo gave out a bungalow to a repentant prostitute after she dedicated her wedding card on the altar. Rehabilitation of prospective baby selling syndicates. In 2018, the then Commissioner of Police Rivers State and his team busted into some baby factories where pregnant ladies hoping to deliver and sell off their babies were arrested and they were brought to OPM for rehabilitation. 15 of such ladies were accommodated in an estate, seen through the deliveries and with promise of empowerment thereafter. Apostle Chibuzo didn't forget his people. He took the free humanitarian services to the doorsteps of the Ohanku and Doki people. Every 2nd of January, he has made it a norm to go back to his people. Bags of rice, cow, goats, cash, gifts, dresses, school materials, etc. are being distributed to chiefs, widows, and other villagers. He built a toll-free market for them and provided them with free electricity. Renovation of school at Ohanku and Doki. Apart from the free school, he built for the less privileged, and registration of WAEC for SS3 students are part of the things he enjoys doing. Apostle Chibuzo, fully aware that many people have children and are living together without a proper marriage, not because they do not want to get married, but because of financial constraints, has made it a point of duty to sponsor as many marriages as possible. In 2015, over 140 people were wedded for free in a mass wedding. Over the years, this has continued. He has sponsored over 1,000 marriages, including assistance in bride price paying. All these Apostle Chibuzo Gifchinyere has been able to do for humanity, not by his strength, but the help of God that provides for the vision of his servant. If Jesus tarries, the God who started this good work will complete it, will continue it to the perfect end. May God take all the glory, and may humanity continue to sing his hallelujah.
OPM, Dr. Jesus in action. Dr. Jesus in action. God is here. Omega Power Ministries, OPM Worldwide.
In a land where pain was the order of the day, broken and battered bodies moved around the place, merely a shadow of themselves. Poverty, hunger, sickness, and pain was not foreign to many. Souls drowned in the sorrow that tore them. Then a man was called. He was called once, but twice he answered. A man who was bestowed with the grace to render spiritual help as well as financial and physical assistance to as many as possible. Apostle Chibuzo Gifchinyere.
My vision is to be the pastor that won the highest soul to heaven.
Is a man who is very particular about the people and is very in touch with them.
I'm a pastor for the poor. I'm not a pastor where say, I go there for a condition, they preach for the big men. No. That is why you see me, I help widows. I build up for widows. I help the poor. That is my calling.
Yes, sir.
My calling not to take offering. Hey, you go open school. Put school fees 500,000. Only for rich people. No. My own is for the poor.
The fact that he had gone through very many facets of life, which includes hardship, makes it easier for him to relate with the people who are from less privileged homes.
God loves all sinners, but God hates the sin in them.